Good evening and welcome to another Sunday night reset. It is so exciting to be here with you after another wild, wild west work week. I hope your week was great. Mine was full of great adventures and looking forward to getting into them tonight. My name is Erin Anderson Williams, the founder and CEO of On Purpose Strategies and Solutions, where we help ambitious professionals align their work and life goals so that they can increase in their health, wealth, and impact. Um, Before we get started, I hope that you guys set your intention before coming on tonight. I really would love to hear how your week was. So if you want to, go ahead and put something in the chat. But we're looking forward to soaring again tonight. Why? Because mindset matters. So I'm going to challenge you to open your heart and mind and to acknowledge where you are right now in this moment, not where you were yesterday, but right now. You know, it's interesting because when we come together on Sundays, I talk to people throughout the week after the Sunday night reset. And it's amazing how just this opportunity to sit and be still for a minute helps people get their mind set for what happened last week and what happened the week ahead. It's something that we can really strive to be intentional to do, just to stop and rest for a second so that we can catch where our minds are, where our bodies are, and where we need to go in order to prepare for the week ahead. I don't know about you, but this last week was eventful, partly because in my Sunday night reset, I make the plans that I can to be able to manage my work week. But sometimes there are things that happen in our week that are completely out of our control and unexpected. So while you're setting your intentions, opening your heart and mind for tonight's talk, acknowledging where you are in this right now moment, I also want you to remind yourself that you have great value. Sometimes, in the midst of things that are going on, it's easy to feel like, do I have value in this situation? I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get into tonight. So, tonight's topic, we are talking about the three stages of the career journey. Because, as you know, I work with workforce professionals, I work with educators, entrepreneurs, and executives in multiple spaces, but many of them are in different places in their career. And depending on where you are, how long you've been in your job, how much time off you have, when things happen unexpectedly, it can create a sense of stress and overwhelm trying to figure out how to manage the entire work situation when life goes amok. So, check this out. This past week, as you know, the week before, I was on a high, right? I was in Maryland. I was a keynote speaker and a presenter for a workforce development conference, had great conversations, telling people to take their superhero cape off and to really reflect, reset, and refuel so that they can continue to carry the work that they carry in a healthy way. And y'all, this week I got hit with an emergency phone call where my father got sent to the hospital and ended up in Little Rock, Arkansas for almost a week. And I thought my week was going to be at home, resting and preparing and planning for some upcoming things that I have. You already know that in October, we are hosting the Working to Win Live conference. So there's a lot of conference planning that's happening. Um, and also in my home weeks, I spend time working on my contracts, preparing presentations and training decks for the upcoming week, and just trying to get all of my online meetings together. But when I get this call, the first thing I think of is how can I get to my dad? Um, because, you know, we talk a lot about life and work, but life should, but oftentimes doesn't take priority when we are in the world of work. Depending on what job you have, depending on the responsibilities that you carry, sometimes when life happens to you, which it does to all of us, we find ourselves managing the stress of how am I going to get my work done while I take care of my family or the most important things in our lives. And if truth be told, there have been seasons in my career, especially the early parts of my career, I was afraid to take time off to take care of self because, man, I needed that check to pay my bills, right? Well, tonight, thinking about different stages of the career journey, and part of the Working to Win Live conference that's coming up, we spend a lot of time teaching professionals how to really look at their mindset when it comes to managing their work and their life. The truth of the matter is, our work has a great priority in our lives and it takes care of a lot of things. Number one, that check, right? We go to work to get a check to pay the bills. Some of us have a job to make more money than the being employed could actually give us. So we have an aspiration and a priority for money to be able to live. And that is not a bad thing in our lives. Sometimes we put that money in priority to other things and it throws some life off balance. It throws our relationships off balance. Why are you always at work? You're never at home. I never get to see you. I don't know. Is that you? You hear that echoing from your kids or your spouse or your friends. We don't ever get to hang out because you're always working. Or the stress and management of the job starts to affect your health and your strength. And it also starts to throw your life off balance in relationships. Why are you so snappy? You seem like you don't want to be bothered. You have an attitude today. Have you ever heard that? Managing the stress of what's going on at work can spill over into other areas of your life. But what I realize in a lot of the conversations that I've had, even over the past couple of weeks with career professionals, is that at different stages of the journey, there was a different stress and frustration in trying to keep a balance in life and work that we sometimes forget about, but I wanted to remind you about tonight. I'm going to invite you, number one, to think about this. Are you happy right now in your life and your work? And happy is relative to what makes you happy. When I'm talking happy, I'm talking satisfaction. Are you satisfied with the work that you have right now? And are you satisfied with where the holistic areas of your life sit right now, currently? If the answer is yes, awesome. Because something that we say tonight can add to maintaining and sustaining that satisfaction that you currently have. If the answer is no, something that we say tonight can help you rebalance and realign, like we talked about last week, where you are to begin thinking about how you can set your life to such an equilibrium that you can be happy and satisfied with your current state of work and life. Now, when I say happy and I say satisfied, I'm not talking perfection, because the reality is our careers have a journey, but our life also has a journey. I mentioned during the keynote that I spoke at that I started my career journey at the age of 21. I have a birthday coming up in about a week. I am not 21 anymore. And I'm actually glad I'm not 21 anymore, because the years of career changes and opportunities that I've been afforded, the things, the people that I've been able to work with and grow with have really set me up to be able to support people in their career journey at all stages of the journey and life that happens as we go to each career stage. Let's talk about the first stage, aspiring professionals. Sometimes we need to pause, depending on where you are, and think about, where were you when you started? You right now might be new in your career and ready to succeed. You're excited. Maybe you graduated high school and you're getting ready to go into your first work. Maybe you are in college and you're planning to go into your first job and you've been majoring in an area and you are looking forward to entering a particular career field. At 21, that was me at Tennessee State University, go Big Blue, preparing to be a criminal court justice for the youth system. And life happened and it changed the trajectory of where I would go. And my major shifted and I ended up in a private school working as a school counselor and a curriculum development teacher. How did I end up there? Well, there was a tragedy on the campus that I worked in. I saw the student that was involved, and my first thought was, I wish somebody would have been able to talk to that student before they made that bad decision that's going to affect the rest of their life. Why can't it be me? I wanted to be where students were to help talk to them about life, about school, about the trajectory of their life, to try to help them not go down the road of the criminal justice system and maybe make a quality life and add value to society in such a way that they don't have regrets. So I ended up in schools. But interestingly enough, over the years, every year, my students graduated and entered into the world of work. Some of them went to college, some of them went straight into work, and some of them didn't have a clue what they wanted to do. So they ended up back at home. Aspiring professionals are those people who want to go into a career, they want to do something, they're ready to succeed. But the reality is, everybody doesn't always know the options and the opportunities that are out there for them, and they need help. Are you an aspiring professional? Are you looking to go into a career or even aspiring to go into a new career? Maybe you've been in a field for a while and you're looking to do something completely different because you realize right now the job that I'm in is not it. That is absolutely okay. And what's also even more interesting about the aspiring professional is that throughout your entire career journey, there may be things that you aspire to do and they're going to be new to you. You might be in a job right now and you're aspiring to be a team leader or you're aspiring to manage a particular department. That's new for you. And you being ready to succeed there means that you might need to upskill or you might need to have conversations with people to find out what happens, because oftentimes stress and frustration and overwhelm happen right at the transition in our career journey. And if we aren't prepared for it, we don't succeed in it. Once it comes to us, we bypass the opportunity. Oh, that's too much. I don't think I can do it. Or we do that negative self talk. Or when we get into the opportunity, we aren't prepared for the new things that come with the new levels of career. The aspiring professional is where you start, but it's also the place where you discover your skills, your talents, gaps in your career opportunities that you need to fill in order to succeed in the next space. The second stage of career journey is the achieving professional. That might be you. Maybe you're in mid-career. You've been in your particular field for 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 years, and you've built credibility in the area and you're ready for more responsibility and possibly you are overwhelmed. Here's what I realized when I entered my mid-career. My midlife was also happening at the same time. When I was an aspiring professional, 21 years old, going into career, I wasn't married. I had no kids. I really didn't have a lot going on because I was just getting started. But after getting started and getting positioned in my career, expanding and growing in my skills and getting some confidence, life also continued happening. I started a family, I bought a house, and the needs for my family in relationships and the needs financially began to grow. And so the overwhelm hit because I was trying even the more to balance, not just not knowing where I was, but how am I supposed to do all of these things at the same time? I was talking to a career professional last week, and she was like, my job is great, but what am I supposed to do with these teenagers? She had been working and used to her kids being small and in elementary and middle school, some aftercare, but now her kids are teenagers. They're in high school. They're in more involved in more activities. They also are growing and their relationship, mother to child, is changing. Why? Because they're growing in their independence and mom is also increasing in her profession. How do we get all those things to work together to maintain the health of the relationship as everybody changes, but also to maintain the career health as she accelerates in her career? Y'all, achieving professionals sometimes hit this wall of, are you sure this is all that this is? I've been working this time and now I'm kind of stuck where I can't quit my job because I need the money because I've established this life in a way that I have to have this job, but I also have a strain on my health, on my mental capacity, and the life around me to where I'm struggling to figure out how to make this thing work and really be able to win in all the areas. This particular area is one that's challenging for a lot of women professionals, especially women in leadership that I talk to. You know, that mom guilt can get to them really, really bad where I have a meeting and I need to be somewhere because I'm set for promotion, but I also want to be present for what my children have going on, or they needed me, to do the thing that they needed me to do. The thing about the achieving professional at mid-career is that you have built credibility, and there are a lot of options and opportunities in the way that you carry the load of being mid-career that gives you the opportunity to shift within your industry, if necessary, or just redefine how you're managing and balancing being at home and at work at the same time. And there are a lot of things that we're going to talk about at the Working to Win conference that we aren't conscious of being able to do because we really think our employees have expectations of us in areas that they really may not have expectations of us, but it's a perception that we have after we've been in a career for so long. That stage 3 area of the career journey is the ambitious professional. It is the professional that's been in their career 10, 15, 20 plus years, and they have mastered their role and they're ready to pivot. A lot of times at the end of a career, prior to retirement age, these are people that aren't ready to stop working, but they really do feel like they've mastered and they're looking for what's next, what's more. How can I go out and take the things that I've mastered and teach others? How can I go out and start a business in the area that I've been working in for the past 20 years? How can I write books, speak, engage in other people in their corporations and take the skills and talents that I've developed to add impact to other people's organizations and career and companies, but also add more value to the career that I've had and extend it because I'm just not ready to be done yet. What I found with this ambitious professional space is that there are a lot of people that have mastered skills, but haven't mastered time in a particular field. And they really are like, I want to do more, but I don't know if I can do more because I haven't really been in the field for very long. My encouragement for all 3 of these stages is time is a value to you, but time is not the limiting factor of whether you can do more in your area of life and career. So when I asked you that question earlier, are you happy with your life and work? If your answer was yes, I'm here to tell you that there's more. If your answer was no, I'm also here to tell you that there's more. I have every single career professional is on a journey, and your titles and industry may be different, but the stages are universal. Everyone starts a career at some point. That aspiring professional that just wants to get in there and get going, start making a life for themselves. You never know where your journey is going to take you if you don't start. So to those that are in college and you're a little anxious about getting there out into the work field, or you've been in your job for a while and you've decided that you want to pivot and go into another industry, my encouragement to you is don't be afraid to make the jump. But I do want to invite you to come to the Working to Win conference on October 25th to learn how to manage those transitions with some ease and some grace and gain the skills, the executive skills that you need for yourself to keep you in personal development and health and wealth, but also those career skills that you need to know what you need to know before you know you need to know them. There's nothing like someone that wants to be the CEO of a large corporation that's never worked for a large corporation. They have ambitions and they just want to be the boss, but they have no idea what the boss's schedule looks like, how they have to manage multiple departments and people, how they work their schedule, and how they also manage their own personal life in order to do that work and keep that entire corporation going. For a lot of the young professionals that are aspiring to go into jobs, many of them, they want to be the leader, they want to be the boss, but they have never experienced what it's like to be in at that level of leadership. And they really are not clear on what it's going to take to move around in that arena. The hope is to be able to help people anticipate what's ahead of them so that they can prepare for the greater success. Part of Working to Win as a framework is to help people discover their core advantage. What are the skills and the talents that you bring into the industry, you bring to a particular position that makes you the obvious choice to be picked and hired, or makes you the obvious choice to jump out and start your own nonprofit or for-profit business that sets you up for people to want to partner with you to improve what they have going on. If you don't know what you bring to the table, if you don't know where your skills and your advantage are, you really don't know what you bring. And so the confidence that people are looking for you to have, it's just not there. We can find it though. And I know it's in there. Here's another thing. Many of us that have been in mid-career, or you're at that ambitious stage where you're looking to do something new, there's so many advances and changes that are happening in the world of career. If you spend any time on LinkedIn, if you spend any time on social media, if you spend any time in the corporation or public private sector that you work in, technology advances like AI, um, what is the there was something that happened earlier this week. I don't know if it was this week, it might have been last week. There's another iteration of the iPhone, right? Every time we turn around, our technology is out of date, something new is happening, and you've got to learn a new skill. Don't be discouraged by the newness that's happening around you, because one thing that's never going to go out of style, and you're never going to be able to be replaced, is the health and wealth that you bring to an organization with innovation, creativity, and to be able to collaborate in the midst of technology advances. There are a lot of things that are happening in the world today, and people are sitting on the sideline going, I don't know what to do now. There's so much that you can do. And one thing that it has helped me is being around like-minded career professionals that continue to push me into areas that I haven't even thought of being able to do, or just having those dreams and desires to impact in more spaces and places than I've ever been able to dream, have ever been able to step into, and keeping my open heart and mind, new doors of opportunity open up for me every single day. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Every day, something new is opening up for me to consider, being able to add impact and increase to the areas and the people that I work with. And I know that same thing can happen for you if you're open for more. Listen, sometimes when we come together for our Sunday night reset, I'm encouraging you to think about your week that just passed, and then to pause and sit with it for a little bit and readjust how you are planning to work for the week ahead. Well, I'm going to invite you tonight to think about the month ahead, because we're getting ready to go into the fall season. September 21st, the weather has started to change. But there's also changing in season in the air for a lot of people right now. And many of them have been in their career for a while and they're getting a little restless. I don't know if you've experienced that. I've experienced that. People that I've talked to across the country are experiencing that. And some of it is because the work environment that they're in has gotten more and more stressful because of the demands that have been placed on the work, and people are having to pivot and change more frequently than they've had to. Part of why I developed the Working to Win framework is to give people that sense of ownership back into their own lives, being able to recognize that you have so much to offer and you don't have to sit on the sidelines and wait for someone else to ascribe value to what you can do, to what you can be, to what you can offer as an impact to the world around you. It really doesn't matter what industry you're in. There is a set way that you approach your work, a set way that you approach relationships, and the way that you manage the things that you have on your plate that bring value to other people. And we need your experience and your expertise. We also need you to be healthy and wealthy in your insides in the midst of it. Many times when we are aspiring in our careers, we forget about the things that we need to manage to keep ourselves healthy in order to continue adding value to other people. Y'all, I started out tonight talking about this past week and getting the news about my dad being in the hospital. My dad takes good care of himself. There's some things that we've already talked to him about that he knows he's going to have to do differently. But at the same time, all of the people that love him were trying to figure out ways to either move work around, finish the work that they were doing, structure when they could actually get to Arkansas. Were they going to have to drive? Could they go by a plane? But everybody had something to manage in their life, including the the idea that dad was down and he normally isn't. How many times have you had an experience where the people around you are dependent on you to always be the strong one, to keep everything moving forward, to always show up at work, ready to do the next task? But you know better than anybody around you that there are things in your personal life, in the area of your mental health, in the area of your physical health, in the area of your just personal self care and management. And I'm not talking spas. I'm talking taking time out to refuel, to rejuvenate, to reset yourself so that you can be good for other people. But you know, deep down inside, you're not 100% good for yourself. It's important to take the time to really think and take inventory of your own life and how you're managing the stress. Last week was a little stressful. Like I said, I had, things that I had planned to do in the week of work. Well, I went to Arkansas. The blessed thing is that in teaching my daughters how to manage and take care of priority of family and school and work, one of my daughters decided to rearrange some things and help me drive. So the things that I needed to do for work, I could still do riding shotgun while she drove part of the hours so I could get work done. And then I reciprocated that on the way home so that she could jump on a call and work with the group of students that she's been working on for a poetry event that's coming up or a program that she works for. It takes community to really, and a team to help us get all the things done that are important to us. But family being important and yourself being important and your work being important all together, we really need to sit together and think about how we're managing all of those things. I want to ask you tonight, and it's always so interesting to me to come on Sunday Night Reset because I love the opportunity to interact because I know that there are some times, if not last week, but the week before, or maybe even the week ahead, that there are some things happening for you in your work or life environments that are causing you some stress. If you're looking for new strategies, if you're looking for ways to approach life and work a little bit differently, if you're looking for a way to increase your health and your wealth, and I'm talking personal wealth and financial wealth, those opportunities that you keep passing to be a leader in your organization, oftentimes they come with a pay increase, but you keep bypassing them because you don't think you can handle the responsibility. Or you've seen that being in leadership at times carries its own stress and frustrations that you maybe have decided you just don't want to deal with. There's a way to deal with it. And it's involving growing in some executive life skills to help us put some things in place, create teams of people of support. It may not be the people in the work environment. They may be the people on the side that can help you look at things the way that you're approaching things and come at it a different way so that you can carry it, manage it, and execute well. Tonight, I'm talking about the 3 stages of the career journey because you have a spot on your journey. And I want you to really think about where you are and where you've been, but most importantly, where you want to go. You might be at the end of your career and you're like, I'm ready to retire. I just want to go sit on the beach. But while you're doing that, I want you to think about how you want to live for the rest of your life. Do you have the finances in place already to do that? If so, congratulations. Do you have other things that you want to do and want to pad that nest egg for your retirement time a little bit differently and you don't want to work for another 30 years? I bet you have some skills and expertise that we can help you package into creating that opportunities to add to your financial wealth so that you really can have the lifestyle in your latter days that you'd like to have. Y'all come and see me October 25th at the Working to Win conference. We are um, talking to aspiring, achieving, and ambitious professionals on your journey. And at every single transition and juncture of the career journey, there is a strategy to increase the health, wealth, and impact so that you can be sustained in your work, but also in your life. Um, I'm excited because during the conference, there will be a luncheon panel with four very amazing people that I've had the opportunity to do life with for the past 20 years. They are amazing women in corporate. They serve in executive spaces. They have served in nonprofit organizations in the community for years. They are full of gifts, full of talents. And when I tell you these sisters are promoting, like every time I turn around, they're getting a new promotion or they're doing something amazing with their life. They serve as mentors and supports to so many young professionals. And so, if you are in the area, you don't want to miss this opportunity to hear from career professionals on their journey. And more than anything, learn their stories about how they do life while increasing in their career. I always appreciate you coming on for Sunday Night Reset. And more than anything, tonight, I wanted to talk about the career journey because many of us are on it, but we don't stop to think about where we want to go with it. For many of us, the career that we have, maybe it fell in your lap. Maybe you started in an area and then opportunities open and you just followed those doors. There really is not a linear process to the career life that you may end up with, but you do have ownership and agency to decide where you want to go and intentionally set yourself up for those successes. You also have the opportunity to set up life success in the midst of it. Bottom line, what I'm saying, you don't have to trade a great life to have a great career. And you don't have to trade a great career to have a great life. What you can do is trade a little bit of time and a little bit of investment to learn new strategies and skills that can increase the success in your work and your life and help you achieve the things that you would like to achieve in your life, because you only have one life to live. And we need your expertise, we need your creativity, and we need you making the impact in the world around you. Because um, if you've looked around at the world around you, there's plenty of room for you. Y'all, I'd love to see you at the conference October 25th. Again, you can scan the QR code, find out more about the conference, and get your ticket. And between now and my birthday on September 29th, you can buy a ticket and bring a friend for free. Or you tell your friend, hey, we'll go half on this ticket and we'll both get to learn and grow together. Super excited about seeing you again soon. If you have not, please follow me on social media. You can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, or email me and have a career conversation. Dr. Erin at onpurposestrategies.com. I would love to hear about life and career and how you have been working to reset your mindset and your weekly rhythm and soaring into your weeks each and every week. Thank you again so much. I look forward to seeing you next week.